Lunch beckons, but first the Stonor Challenge Trophy. Cooke and Stratton on the Berkshire station, Jansen and Opzeeland of New Zealand, of the Netherlands, and on the Buck station. The weather, just, I don't want to bang on about the weather too much, but the wind's fairly consistent. The rain has seemed to have relented a bit, hasn't it? It got really squally in the previous race, but it seems to have calmed down a bit now.
Well, we're British, Tim. We have to talk about the weather.
I know. That's why I'm always very wary, because we've got an international audience, and I don't really want to hark on about the state of the weather too much.
Well, from an international audience, we're hoping that some of our Dutch colleagues are watching this really nice display from Hollandia Roelclub, who have got off the start beautifully, and they've settled into quite a nice, inviting rhythm on the near side of your picture. It looks to me like they may have even stained the top canvas of their hull orange, but I'm not quite sure if we're looking at that picture. It looks a really nice boat, inviting one to be going to row in.
Two young boats here. Ellie Cooke and Finola Stratton, both 20, but they both have previous Henley Royal Regatta experience. They might need to call upon that experience here, because the Dutch lead the way. Still the early stages of the race there.
Still early stages, but we can see just the contrast in the styles. So this Dutch double here, really nice simplicity to what they're doing. And if you've got younger rowers watching, what I really love about this crew is that, okay, there's a little bit potential difference of what's happening in the arms and the bodies, but look what's happening in the water. Those oars, those spoons, so nicely painted in those three distinctive colours in a horizontal line. They're just entering, commentator's curse, entering together, apart from that one stroke that I was drawing your attention to.
Your timing was magnificent there, Cameron.
I'll tip her later.
Lotte Jansen in the bow seat and Isabel van Opzeeland in the stroke seat for the Dutch. And now we rejoin the action live, and you can see the double.
And they have got that distinctive orange Dutch staining on the top of their Philippi boat. So from their overhead pictures, you'll be able to see the orange canvas going down the course. And I wonder whether they keep that for the subsequent international regattas later on in Lucerne and the World Championships.
Cooke and Stratton trying to keep pace. It's just hanging on in there, isn't it, at this stage of the race? There they are. Ellie Cooke in the bow seat and Finola Stratton in the stroke. So they just want to do enough to nudge the Dutch along and hope something happens. And actually, something could happen, because we've seen in previous races, haven't we, speed being taken out of boats as mistakes crop up.
And it must also be said that these two 20-year-old athletes from Reading University Boat Club really putting in a fantastic performance. Let's not forget that the double on the left-hand side of your picture are an international crew, and so these young British athletes on the right-hand side of your picture, they've got some great boat speed and really nicely showing us some good sculling, coached by Will Rand, and a very successful sculling program at Reading University with very famous alumni such as Sam Townsend, Bill Lucas, and really good scullers that have come out from that university in recent years.
You're just listing your friends there.
Absolutely, trying to get them in.
Giving them a name drop. The Stonor Challenge Trophy. Still misty and murky. The wind still blows. And we've got the leaders there, the Dutch of Jansen and van Opzeeland. They're looking very well organised, aren't they? It's just so cool and composed and unfazed by it all.
And the boat, the hull, is being warned. They're coming across that midlines. The Hollandia, they are being warned by umpire Sarah Winkles. I was just about to say that you can see the Philippi hull sitting proudly there in the water, just slicing through the water ahead of them. Really
and that
nice.
Clear steering correction would have just given Cooke and Stratton a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, they'll have noticed that. If they couldn't quite see them or feel them before, they'll just maybe heard those puddles being created on the left-hand side of them. So they'll be thinking, oh, what's going on? Have we increased our speed? Have they reduced their speed? That'll give them a little bit of a sniff, and you can see that actually that's increased their rate of striking. They've just had a lift in that Reading boat, and they're going to be building as they go through stewards' enclosures towards the line.
So the final race before the lunch break on the Friday of Henley Royal Regatta. And the Stonor Challenge Trophy, the last heat before lunch. Jansen and Van Opzeeland know that their work is almost done for today, but sterner tests may lie ahead over the weekend because they will be here to compete in the later rounds of the Stonor Challenge Trophy. Cooke and Stratton have had a good regatta. It's gone well throughout the regatta.
By 3 lengths.
3 lengths up in front of stewards. A couple more strokes and the Dutch will be home. That was, as anticipated, impressive.
Very impressive, and that's what I love about the regatta, is seeing such amazing rowing from the international crews that make the trip over to us, paired with younger crews that are up and coming and get that experience of testing their speed out against the world's best. Blessed, of course, by some beautiful British liquid sunshine.